In this video, I will demonstrate the joining round of a folded hem on a project with a conventional cast-on as opposed to a provisional cast-on. This is done by folding the cast-on edge up to the row that is on your needles and working them together. A stitch on the needle with a loop from the base of the cast-on row. There are two different ways to do this. One is by picking up all of these loops in advance, and the other is to just pick up one loop at a time and work it together with the stitch on the needle. I will show you the all-at-once method first. I take a needle much smaller than what I have, and I pick up one loop at the base of every column of stitches that I have. So you can see this is actually the second column, so I want to make sure I don't start with this loop. I have to get one on the very first column. So make sure to get that first one and then go and pick up a loop at the base of every other column. It gets a little funny looking at the end and a little bit tight maybe at the first cast on stitch, but that's why it's really helpful to use a much smaller needle. So I have 8 stitches up here and I have 8 loops down here. So I'm set to go. Then when it comes time to work the joining round or row, we have the 2 needles front to back. Tension the yarn as you would, and then it's just knitting 2 together, one from the front needle and one from the back. And you can see the way these loops set up, they're nice and open. It's like the stitch is mounted backwards on the needle almost, and you are not looking for a twist. You want a nice flat smooth join, so you can just go ahead and work into the open face of that stitch. And that is totally fine. This is a companion video to my hat pattern with a folded hem, so you certainly want something nice and smooth against your head. An alternate method, if you don't have a third needle handy or if you don't want to pick up all of these loops in advance, is to simply fold and start joining and pick up the loops one at a time as you go. So in this case, we would find that first loop off on the edge here, put it up on the left-hand needle and knit it together with the first stitch. And then we do the same with the second loop. Find that second loop, put it on the left needle, knit them together. After a while, you can get good at seeing them and maybe just sort of pick up the loop like that, knit together, or even go in here and then into that loop. It's a little trickier that way, but whatever is comfortable for you and your hands. Just make sure you don't skip a loop. Every once in a while, especially if you're going around a full hat, it can be helpful to check now and then and see if you're on track. So right now, this column goes all the way down. I turn it over, it continues to this loop, and that is what is on the needle with this. If you get off, your hem starts to get a sort of twisted bias look, and we want to avoid that if we can. So when you reach the end, this is what the folded hem will look like, front and back, and then your work just continues on from here. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see the version with a provisional cast on, you can check out my other videos. And as always, you can subscribe and turn on notifications, and then you won't miss any of my new videos. Thanks.